and then we'll have to do that. I don't know what's up with all the tech issues, guys. Sorry, this is the third time restarting this. Anyways, it's an AMA. We're gonna go answer questions. I'm here with Matt, and I just shared a document. So within that document, we're gonna go through these questions. So general gameplay questions. And then I'm also going to reserve a little bit of time for Nate, a little bit of time for Cryptomancer, and a little bit of time for Waffles Kitty, so that they can talk about Digicon, new stuff that we're building, and new stuff that we're implementing. So general gameplay questions. Do you plan to build another game in the future?
Figured you might want to answer that one.
Sure. Yeah, we're definitely going to build another game. The first off, the land expansion is basically another game. But yeah, you know, all these assets can be used in lots of different ways, and we certainly want to go do that. So, you know, as time progresses and as we keep getting more people in here, yeah, we're definitely going to launch more games. Will there be any PvE content? Yes, you know, boss fights are still a thing. They're still planned. But, you know, all the scaling this much has certainly pushed back, like, our top priorities. You know, PvE content is a priority, but it's not, like, the highest priority we have right now. Okay, why is there a paywall, aka power requirements, when it comes to advancing your ranks? If I have a high rating using level 1 cards, I think I deserve the reward of staying in that league and receiving the reward in that league. I know you'll just say, then whales can just delegate cards to their sub-accounts, reach a league, then wait until season ends. But aren't you punishing good players who can reach a league without having too much power? They will only literally stay in that league unless they pay. Thoughts on that, Matt?
Well, that one ultimately has nothing to do with whales. It's just kind of a more simple, like, you know, if there's real valued rewards given out, and limited amounts of real valued rewards, you know, we require people to put money into the game, basically. So you have to contribute to the ecosystem in order to earn higher rewards. And if that, you know, that wasn't the case in the past, and, you know, it created a situation where, you know, people game the system in order to try to, you know, get higher leagues without putting money in, and just, you know, earn just far more and more of the rewards. So, you know, again, in like free-to-play games that don't have real valued rewards, you know, absolutely, there's no, like, you know, power level requirements or anything. But it's just, you know, part of the whole how the economy works in the game is that, you know, you need to have a certain amount of stake. It's basically stake, right? So in most, like, DeFi platforms and blockchains and other things that you might be familiar with, like, you have to stake, which in this case is have higher collection power in order to get into higher tiers and earn rewards. And we like it to be, you know, a combination of things. So you have to have your stake or collection power, and you also have to be able to win battles. And, you know, so it's some combination of skill and your stake in the game.
Yeah, couldn't have said it better. All right, is it possible to burn pack potions for quest potions? Anything you want to say about quest potions?
It's definitely not possible to burn, you know, one type of potion for another type of potion. You know, I know in general, we made a change recently to quest potions to fix what I consider to be a critical issue with them. But, you know, kind of going back to the previous question, quest potions, in my opinion, weren't really designed properly, which is my fault because I designed them originally, but, you know, live and learn. But it's again a situation where quest potions, ideally everything in the game should encourage people to get more cards and to increase their collection power and to level up, and to increase into higher leagues. And quest potions don't. They just kind of encourage people to just sit there with the base set of cards and just get quest potions to farm as many rewards as possible. So, you know, overall, I'd like to kind of redesign how they work. But again, that's not our highest priority right now.
I just purchased my first plot. Is there a way to transfer my plot from Hive Engine into the game?
Yes, you can. I think the way is that you transfer the plot through a Hive Engine site like hive-engine.com. or tribal decks to the Steam Monsters account. But I would just check with tech support or in Discord to make sure you're doing it properly.
Do you think it would be possible to rename our roles in the guild?
If you mean custom names, as far as instead of the default names that are there, like leader and co-leader and officer, I mean, that sounds cool, but let's say low priority thing for right now.
Okay. When will you remove bots? Why are bots allowed here?
Yeah, I feel like every time we say we should have like just a general posting of the answer to the bots question.
Okay.
That we can refer people to, but I'll just say real quick, bots are allowed because we are trying to build a game that, where there's not one centralized group that is saying who can play and who can't. So that's kind of the whole point of blockchain and decentralization and the dApps that we're doing. So the whole idea is that anyone can play and anyone can participate. All you need is a Hive account and to broadcast transactions to the Hive blockchain. And no one ideally should be able to say that this person is allowed to play or this person isn't, or anything like that. So our goal is to make it so that bots are a welcome addition to the ecosystem and don't cause problems for the game economy or for non-bot players, which I agree we still have work to do on that. But that's our stance. Build the game in such a way where bots are just a healthy part of the system, and don't cause problems.
Will you be able to play all rewards cards in the upcoming modern format of the game?
No, so not all reward cards. The easy way to tell is the frame of the card. If it's the same type of frame as the Untamed edition cards, then it'll be allowed in modern format. And if it's the older kind of beta frame, then it will not.
How will the deck reward pool be split between the wild and modern format?
So our plan is initially to just duplicate the reward pool. So it'll be the same exact reward pool for wild and for modern format. But I'm totally open to that getting changed in the future, which is true of pretty much everything in the game, if it makes sense. So if it's really the case that the vast majority are playing in modern format and there's not enough rewards there, then we can look at changing it. And also I would very much hope at that point that stuff would come down to a vote of SPS token holders.
My first battle in the current brawl registered as fled. My game froze and would not let me select or swap out cards before I submitted it. I refreshed the browser. When this happens in ranked battles, it will sometimes let me finish setting up the match within the rest of my time limit. In the guild war, now I have a loss. You fled. How do I avoid disappointing my guild in the future?
It should, if you reload and still have time left, I think put you back into the battle. Maybe Cryptomancer can take a look at that specifically. But overall, we are trying our best to fix as many problems that will cause players to have issues and flee battles, not on purpose. That's all I can really say. It does happen. We apologize to players who are affected. I would assume that your guild would understand that happens from time to time. But we're doing everything we can to make the game run as smoothly as possible and prevent errors from happening that cause you to lose battles.
Splinterlands can't suddenly mint more of the same card, but can they change the card? Specifically, can they make new, harder to achieve max levels? This would create even more card combinations and decrease the supply of fully maxed cards. So right now, the only thing that stops us from doing that is that we put out posts that describe how we're going to do things, and then we don't really move from that. We'll have a white paper that describes Chaos Legion and the combined rates and the DEC burn rates and all that kind of information, and that's what we're going to go with. So even if there's things that we don't necessarily like throughout that edition, we're not going to change them. In the future, when we have governance voting, that is something that the community could change, and that's part of the design of having governance voting, that if we make decisions that you guys don't like, as we roll out new stuff, you then have authority to go edit it. So that doesn't currently exist now, but we are moving in that direction. Anything else you want to add about can we change cards?
Yeah, I guess I'd say overall, we don't. I mean, we're overall. I want to avoid making like any type of big major changes like that, because it really, like, the entire game economy is all interconnected. And even small changes have ripple effects to lots of different things that we don't always consider. And especially doing like kind of pretty major changes like that would have lots and lots of effects on lots of parts of the game, that are hard to kind of foresee up front. But that being said, like Aggroed was saying, in the future, we, are planning to have it be a proposal and voting mechanism. So it would be up to the SPS token holders to submit proposals for pretty much anything you could think of. And then if the majority, or whatever the threshold is, agrees that they want that change, then it should happen.
Is it okay to transfer my multi-account Dark Energy Crystal to my primary account? Is it a bannable offense? Yes, it's okay. No, it's not bannable. Is the improvement on the delegation framework still on the roadmap? I don't know if he means delegating cards or delegating SPS, but are there changes to either sets of delegation and how we do it?
Well, there's currently not SPS delegation in the game, but that's something we plan to add as soon as possible. In fact, Nate already made the designs for adding delegation to the SPS screen in the game. So that's really important, especially as as there are now SPS staking requirements for things. As far as card delegation and renting, I mean, there's definitely a bunch of fixes and changes to the current rental system that we would like to work on. But otherwise, if that's not what you're talking about, just submit suggestions for more specifically what you'd like to see.
All right. So now that your team is growing,
and Aggie, we're asking that you get closer to the mic.
I'm moving.
Speak up.
Now that your team is growing, what controls do you have in place to prevent insider trading? Well, these things
generally, yeah.
Insider trading actually only, so this might not be your favorite answer, but insider trading just applies to securities. So like currencies and things like that, that's not insider trading. So I know that's the term that you might want to associate, but that's probably not the right technical term. But that's separate.
Let's say it is insider trading. It's just not illegal, right? So it is the term is still correct. It's just not something that's illegal to do. So there's no legal implications for anyone insider trading based on Splinterlands stuff. But it is something that we'd like to avoid. So in general, our stance is that if we find that any team members are, purposely taking advantage of information that they have that other people don't, that's something we certainly frown upon and may lead to that team member being removed from the team. But also in general, just based on the quick pace that we're going at, and the way we're working things, we try to avoid. We only tell people like specific details on a need-to-know basis, and so there's really a small group of people who ever have access to insider knowledge for things. And even generally, people building out features and working on stuff like that don't necessarily need to know changes to the economy or pricing or any of that stuff. That stuff is all parameters that just get put in kind of when it's ready to release. So I think it's an important thing, and it's something that we don't want our team members to do, and we'll take action against if it happens. And we also do our best to just have those type of things be on a need-to-know basis.
How long do we have to wait for the block problem to be resolved? So I think can you just give us sort of a general update of where the servers are at?
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what the block problem means. We just continue to not only update servers, but to optimize our code, improve things, split things out. But sometimes it's a matter of different things break at different times, and we can't always foresee all of that beforehand. But every time something happens that causes a problem, we immediately look at what is causing that problem and do what we need to do to fix it, going forward. And at some point, I can't exactly say when, but the new kind of issues that keep cropping up will all be resolved, and things will be much more smooth sailing. So, as far as I know right now, all of the issues that have come up have been resolved, in a way that's scalable to significantly more volume than we have now. But there may be new bottlenecks and things that we haven't expected that come up, and we'll handle them as they come up.
Any news regarding QP? I don't know what QP
Quest
is.
Potion.
Oh, Quest Potion rework review.
Yeah.
We missed them. They aren't worth to buy at the current deck price. Yeah, like my
Yeah,
thought is
I kind of talked about that.
All right. Will Splinterlands create a rent to own or layaway feature to help people buy the more expensive cards from players? Like lease to own?
Possibly. I haven't really thought about that, but it's something that we can consider for the future. A lot of people want it.
I've been stuck with a loading screen for more than an hour now. I'm playing on Microsoft Edge. Is it the same for others or an isolated case?
Depending upon when this was submitted, the loading screen issue should have been resolved yesterday. So if it's still happening, I would say try another browser if you can to see if that's the issue, and otherwise, maybe someone can look in tech support and try to see what's going on in that specific case.
What will season rewards depend on? Is it the highest league achieved or the last one achieved?
No, starting this season, as we mentioned in the post, it's going to be your league at the end of the season. So not the highest league achieved, but the league at the end of the season.
So does that mean that the cooldown change is live too?
The cooldown change is not live yet. That should start, starting the next season.
All right, there we go. When will market features be available in the mobile app?
That's a good question. I'm not sure I think some market features are available in the mobile app now, but I'm not sure about that. I have to check with Melon Man but I don't have an ETA for when additional features will be in the mobile app right now.
Why can we sometimes get more DEC in a lower rating, or I think he means in a lower league, than in a higher league, even though our ECR is high? How is DEC rewards calculated? Is it based off of your league or your rating, or where does that come from?
It's based on your rating and your ECR, but there's also different bonuses and things that can factor in. And then there's also, you get a percentage of the total pool based on, how many players, all the battles of the last 24 hours. So, at certain times, especially towards the end and the beginning of the season, the pools can get more or less tokens than they would have normally. So it's hard to say without looking at a specific case, but it is possible in certain instances for that to happen.
All right. Do you know when the value of DEC will rise again? No, we don't answer price questions. Why no more free entry tournaments? Why a cap of 1,000 per tournament? Because at least for the moment, those giant tournaments were breaking the game. So we are putting on caps to something that we know we can do. And could we have tournaments with a larger number of entrants in the future? Possibly. Any news on land? Anything you want to share about the land update? Like, I know that most of our time has been DevOps, but at least content creation has been happening for land. Any major updates with that?
Yeah, I don't have any timing updates other than once things are definitely really stable, we've probably increased our team size, and we can really switch more to back to feature development. Then we're gonna put together a hopefully much more accurate roadmap for everything that's been outstanding. And land is obviously the biggest thing outstanding.
So a player, I don't hear this often. Please reduce the time during a battle when picking cards. Some players are taking advantage of it and decide to play within the last 5 seconds, hoping that the player will surrender. Any thoughts on how long a match should take?
Yeah, I don't know. There's pluses and minuses. So obviously, if we reduce the time, it gives players less time, which some people won't like, or vice versa. So I don't know. For right now, I think we're going to leave it as it is and leave that to something that could be a proposal, an SPS proposal in the future.
Are there any negative implications as to why seasons are weekly rather than every 2 weeks? Considering reward quantities are adjusted accordingly, would it not keep engagement up and stabilize the rental market?
Possibly. I'd say right now, since there's still a lot of work to be done to make season ends go more smoothly, we're definitely not going to reduce the time. But in the future, once things are running better, I'd be open to looking at that.
Increase the size of the letters of rules and abilities for those with visual difficulties. I guess that's just a suggestion. Have you considered seeking experienced developers that could possibly provide guidance on supporting this type of growth? We have no doubt you guys can handle it eventually, but I'm curious on what plans are for growing the development team, if any. Are we growing the development team, Matt?
Yeah, I mean, that's like one of our number one priorities right now is like not just growing the development team, but growing it significantly. We are talking to people we know in the community and personally, and we've also engaged with a few recruiting firms to help find people. But it's going to take time. I mean, we have a few people that are more like, part-time help coming on quickly, but to find really good kind of full-time people to really help with this is going to take time, not only to find them because, we really need to make sure they're the right people, because if we end up hiring someone who doesn't work out, which has happened in the past, then it really wastes a lot of time and kind of sets things back. So it's going to take time to find the right people, but we are going to grow the team pretty significantly, at least more than double the current size of the development team. And then, also once we bring people on, it does take time for them to, get familiar with everything that we're doing and really start to make a difference, with their contributions. So it's, unfortunately, it's going to take some time for that to really show up and be obvious to the player base.
There are always bridge transactions that get stuck. Can you guys maybe provide the proper access and training to Biz and Grapthar so that they can manually complete these transactions so it's one less thing off Matt's plate? I know this isn't an interim issue, but this would prevent players from waiting on transactions for days. Thoughts on stuck transactions?
Yeah, there's been tons of work going into the bridges. To make them, there's been some work to automatically refund failed transactions for certain bridges. We have to be very careful about that stuff because if there's some bug and it's refunding transactions that actually went through or didn't get stuck, then that's a real problem. But we're working on making the bridges work better so transactions don't get stuck, B, log things better so that our customer support people can look up the details more easily, C, automatically refund stuck transactions when possible. And currently, Biz and Grapthar and some other people do have access to, a pool of dark energy crystals and SPS tokens that they can use to manually complete or refund transactions that get stuck. And then we're slowly going through, the different bridges, which kind of have to be one at a time because they all work differently with different blockchains to get things fixed. The wax bridge is probably the one with the most issues right now, kind of the next highest priority to get resolved, in my opinion.
What are your thoughts on changing the Dark Energy Crystal earnings per ranked battle to be based on players' ranking rather than their rating? Some of the top leaderboard players in Bronze are making almost as much Dark Energy Crystals as Diamond players, which seems quite unfair to those who are trying to improve their deck. This seems to be a very similar exploit as the Quest Potions for 75 cents was.
Yeah, I agree. And generally, we want to be encouraging people to get into higher leagues, right? They'll need more collection power, which means they need to get more stake in the game, basically. So the fact that you can just get a higher rating and earn more, at least just for DEC, is kind of, without going into higher leagues, is kind of the opposite of what we're trying to do. So, again, in the not too distant future, we do plan to be adding SPS earnings in addition to the DEC earnings for ranked battles. So at that point, I think it makes sense. We're gonna try to design that properly, where it encourages people to move up into higher leagues in order to get more, and also have SPS stake in their account. So I think it would make sense to kind of look at making the DEC earnings work that same way at that time.
How many seasons can we stack an open season's rewards, or must we do it every season else we lose the previous one?
No, you can save up your season rewards. There's no real benefit to doing that, especially as the old reward cards run out. You're just not going to get them if you wait and they're out. You'll get dark energy crystals in their place, but those cards seem to be much more valuable than the dark energy crystals you've received. So, I would suggest opening your rewards, but you shouldn't lose them. And if there's ever a situation where older season rewards are going to be not available, we'll let people know so they can claim them before that happens.
Is it possible to have an option for collection power cap in bronze silver tournaments? It's very demoralizing at bronze tournament when someone with 6 million collection power matched up with you for a $10 prize. So right now it's much more expensive for them to come in. In fact, if they don't place in the top 16 in those tournaments that typically have hundreds of people in it, then they're losing money. So I don't want to ban them outright, but I definitely want to make it, I want to make the odds not really favor just spamming into every single low league tournament.
Yeah, and overall, I mean, it is possible. That's a setting that we can do. And one of the first things that we plan to implement when we have the SPS proposal voting system is that players can vote on what changes they want to the tournaments, including things like that.
Card questions and Chaos Legion questions. So first, any thoughts on general timing of Chaos Legion? Do you think that's September, October? Anything that we want to share around what that pre-sale might look like? Is there anything we want to share around how many cards there might be, or any other details? Is that ready? Are we pausing? Where are we at with that?
Yeah, I really don't want to share numbers until we actually publish the numbers. But I really would like to get the pre-sale started in September. The only caveat is, if things break that we need to address immediately, that just takes time away from us building out these other features that we were planning. So I can't guarantee that it's going to be out in September, because if a bunch more things come up that take time away from that, then it's going to be late. So that's like, we have the new reward cards set for Monday. There's still more work to do for fixing the season end and some other bugs and things, but aside from that, getting the Chaos Legion pre-sale started is one of the top priorities. So, love it to be before the end of September. It may go into October. And then as far as details, I mean, we talked about, needing it. Our kind of high level plan is that, the amount of pre-sale packs you will be able to purchase will be dependent upon your SPS stake as a percentage of the whole. So if there's like X amount of packs, pre-sale packs available, and you have 1% of the total SPS staked, then you would be eligible to purchase around 1% of the pre-sale packs if you want. So the idea is, it doesn't matter what accounts. You don't need to split up your SPS or move it around, but it's just if you want more pre-sale packs, you'll need more SPS.
All right. Will they airdrop free packs? No, that's just not what we're going to do.
We plan to have airdrop cards like we did for Untamed. So not airdrop free packs, but cards based on your packs purchase.
And you'll definitely want to get packs early so that you can maximize the airdrops you're eligible for. Is the Chaos will be purchased through DEC only, or will there be credits too? Definitely credits. And anything you want to share about DEC payments?
There's definitely going to be DEC payments. It's most likely going to be based on the DEC market price. It's not going to be like 2,000 dark energy crystals per pack. That would be kind of crazy at this point. And there may be some other things related to DEC. And you'll definitely be able to, before that starts, you'll be able to spend SPS tokens also. So we'll be adding that as a payment option in the game shortly for everything, including the new pack. I should also mention that it's looking like the packs will cost more than $2. We don't have a price at this time. We're trying to not increase it too much, But in general, it's kind of a toss up between, having more packs at a lower price or fewer packs at a little bit higher price. And, ultimately, it kind of makes sense to do a little bit of both. So we're definitely going to be increasing the number of packs from Untamed, but it also makes sense to increase the price a little bit, which will just help overall increase the value of the cards and the economy without flooding the game with like a ridiculous amount of new cards as compared to the old cards. So it's kind of like, we're gonna be doing a little bit of both.
If the number of spellbook players is increasing by 13,000 a day, why are car prices now dropping? So first off, I would argue Splinterlands and the used car price are not correlated, but I guess he's probably asking about card prices, and I would say something like, if this is chitter chatter, but there's a lot of people that are pretty excited to go get into Chaos Legion, and it seems like some people are selling their older cards to free up some cash so that they can buy giant sums of Chaos Legion on the day that it comes out. So that's what I'm hearing, but I don't know that that's the absolute case. I'm not sure anybody knows exactly, but that's what I hear in Mavs, and that's what some of what might be out there.
Yeah, I mean, spellbook purchases are not directly related to card prices. Card prices have gone up astronomically over the past couple months. It would be extremely surprising if they didn't come down at some point. I mean, we hope that that will be a short-term dip, and overall they'll continue to go up in the future. But we have no idea if that will be the case, and we're just working on building the best game and the best incentive structure possible to keep increasing value to the assets.
Since Chaos Legion is bringing in 2 ladders, Wild and Modern, are we going to have separate energy capture rate for both, or will it remain the same, or use the same one?
That has not been decided yet. There's pros and cons to both.
Will there be new starter cards once Chaos Legion comes out?
Yeah, so typically it's going to be that, the starter cards are the cards that anyone can play with, even if they don't own them, will just automatically switch to the newest 2 sets. So currently it's Beta and Untamed, and when Chaos Legion is released, it will switch to Untamed and Chaos Legion. And then in the future, when there's new sets, it'll switch to Chaos Legion and the future set.
Will the airdrop vouchers for Chaos Legion presale be considered an asset that are eligible for SPS airdrop? Probably not. Airdrop is pretty set. Vouchers haven't been formally declared. I think they're likely, but that's still TBD up until everything is TBD about Chaos Legion until the white paper comes out for it.
Yeah, I'll just mention, since it's mentioned here, that when we say vouchers, we were just planning a system of like getting some vouchers based on your SPS stake as a way to basically track, like, you have this much SPS stake, so here are your vouchers to be able to purchase your Chaos Legion pack. But again, all the details of that are still TBD.
What will season rewards depend on highest league achieved? No, we already did that one. Will Ghost Card remain the same? We answered that. Will Chaos Legion packs be available to buy using credits? Yes. Why are newer cards objectively weaker when leveled? Looking at alpha beta cards like Feral Spirit, it goes from 1 attack to 4 as a 3 cost. No new cards compare in stats. Do you think that's true? What do you do? Are we doing
in some cases it's true. I mean, I think there were some older alpha beta cards that in my opinion, in hindsight, were like, overpowered and not as well designed as they should be. And I think we have a much better system for, designing cards better. And I think it's okay in some cases that, the older cards are a little stronger, and, because we want the older cards to have more value and utility. But also keep in mind, there's going to be a modern format in the future, the near future, where only the newer cards can be used. So, those kind of older cards that, in my opinion, are a little bit unbalanced, won't be able to be used, and will kind of be out of the meta there.
Sneak peek for more rewards cards coming on Monday. No, but are we still on track for releasing the those cards for Monday?
Yeah, barring any like major incidents between now and then, it's pretty much ready to go. Um, I mean, I'm okay with a sneak peek for another card or two.
If you got them, go. I'm
Maybe
sure the
maybe I'll
audience
leave
would
it.
love it.
Yeah.
You could just like right before you leave, you could just drop them and be like, "Mic drop," and out of here. Um,
Okay.
so why did we decide to reduce the collection power or the DEC content of the new reward cards? And Chaos Legion will have less DEC and collection power as well. Why did we do that?
Wait, sorry. Where did you go?
I'm
I was
right
trying to
before
look at
renting
reward cards.
questions. Why did you decide to reduce the power of new reward
Oh,
cards?
here we are. Um, yeah, I mean, in general, it's all part of also keeping older cards having higher value, right? So the newer cards aren't the same value. There's going to be way, way, way more Chaos Legion cards than there were previous sets. And then also, you know, this is the first time we've had a rental market, which wasn't really factored into previous collection power calculations. So it's actually easier or cheaper, I would say, than it has been in the past. You know, to get higher collection power. So overall, it just made sense to have those cards, you know, the newer cards be lower collection power and be in that sense worth less than the older cards.
Can the cards be designed to show more the characters rather than gross borders and information? Character occupies just about 40% of the NFT surface.
I think the new borders do have more space for the card art than in the past, but yeah, I mean, we also have a lot of other information that needs to be shown on the card, and where it's all kind of crammed in there. There's not a whole ton more room. You know, I'm always open to new ideas from the designers how to make the cards look better.
Is Nate in the audience? I gotta scroll through a million people to go see if Nate's here. I don't think he is. All right. I know Waffles Kitty is here, so I'm going to go. Waffles, hopefully in the next 5 minutes you're ready. So we got maybe 5 or 8 more minutes of questions with Matt here, and then we'll go drop a little bit of rewards, eye candy, and then I'll just start powering through the remaining questions that I have in the document, and then we'll start like the full AMA of whoever's in here and has questions to ask. So renting questions. I rented a gold foil Mylar just this afternoon. I used it for just an hour. After that, I closed the game. And now that rented card is not there, maybe the player canceled the rented card. Is that possible? If they cancel, wouldn't it be there for 24 hours?
Well, it's there. Yeah, if a card is canceled from the rentals, it will actually be, you know, undelegated from the renter after the next 24-hour period is up. So, you know, if you rented a card at 12 noon, you know, it'll be available to you until at least 12 noon the following day.
Why are cards set in fixed USD amounts, but rentals are fixed in DEC amounts?
Yeah, that's a good question. That's because for rentals, the amount, like if you rent it for more than one day, the amount is put into escrow and then distributed over the course of the rental period. So if you rent a card for 30 days, you have 30 times the daily amount put in escrow that gets distributed to the owner over the 30 days. So it's really difficult to deal with price fluctuations over that time. Like if you put up enough dark energy crystals and then the price, you know, the prop drops or increases, and then the next day would have to be, you know, a higher amount of dark energy crystals, and then there's not enough in escrow or vice versa. So so that's why it's a fixed amount of dark energy crystals, so that, you know, you pay this amount of dark energy crystals and that exact amount is in escrow and available and given out to the owner. So it's not ideal, but, you know, it was just, unfortunately, you know, with the escrow thing, the only way that kind of worked without a lot of problems and confusing things for player renters and owners.
It looks like some people are now able to go see some of these cards. How do you say DJINN? Do you say Jin or Dijin?
I, I say Jin,
All right.
but I don't know that I'm correct.
So Jin Renova, she looks beautiful just as card art. That's extraordinary. You gotta love the white eyes, the like the magic bean pulled out. Strengthen on there and triage. So there's a good backline healer. But she's not just backline healing. She's dropping 4 magic attack on your face. So that's a nice like support and DPS combo card there. And then we have Harklaw. Harklaw has shield. What's the second ability there?
That's immunity.
And so that means
So you can't get any negative status effects.
Negative status effects, and then that's demoralize, right? So all the it's like a melee attack -1 for opponents.
Yeah, see, it's demoralizing coming up against Harklaw.
Yeah. So he's a pretty big beast. So first off, somebody was saying, "Oh, I wish there was more to see of the monsters." Well, there's more to see of the monsters. That's baked into there. Here's
I mean, there's not a lot we can get rid of off the card and still show all the information that needs to be shown. But we'll see. I think it's also it's pretty similar to other trading card games. Magic and Hearthstone and whatever. So we're not like worse off than those. And we have the lore tab, which allows you to see the full art, more information about the card, which most other games don't have, as far as I know. So I really like that.
Actually, so as Liberty Lass has been working on translations, it's come up that we should be translating all the lore. So that's something to consider. I know that's not like the next highest.
Oh yeah, we can do that.
We should get all the lore into the translations too. Of which I think she's got a couple more finished, like Japanese and French. I think are done. So that's something to think about for later. Harklaw is a rival of the Lord of Darkness. Nobody rivals the Lord of Darkness. All right, getting back to some of these questions, we got like 3 more minutes with Matt here. The Explorer seems to have issues to compute some of the activities on the market rental history. Is that a known issue? Is there a way to request the full history of your rentals?
Yeah, the Explorer, I assume the Peak Monsters Explorer, maybe the in-game Explorer, I don't know. If there are bugs there, we're going to try to get to them as quickly as possible to make sure, make sure everyone can see their history clearly. But, again, we have like lots of bugs and problems to deal with right now. And we're just trying to get through all of them as quickly as possible. So, our first focus is on like critical game not working things, people losing funds things. And then, issues with explorers and stuff will be after that.
How is it fair for play-to-earn players to rent $40 of cards just to get to their season rewards? Oh, so much entitlement here. Tell us, Matt. Did you guarantee a certain amount of season rewards?
I'm not sure I understand the question.
Well, they're basically saying, look, I'm spending this much money and my season rewards aren't covering it. So, any thoughts on that? Of like, I guess I want to answer this. Like, I'll try not to be too snarky, but like, there's no guaranteed rewards in this game. I mean, like, you have your battles and there's DEC, but that changes based off of price and all this other stuff. You guys have to be responsible with the amount of money that you are, buying cards with or renting cards with to make sure that it matches. If you're playing this game specifically for profit, then, don't go renting all the most expensive cards and then not using them efficiently. So how much you earn, the ability to earn is something that the game provides. Like the fact if you do or don't actually earn is really up to your skill, what cards you're renting, how thoughtfully you're playing. So nobody here is guaranteed, if you rent, you will earn more. That's not the promise that this game makes. If you...
Yeah, I'm not sure if I understand the question, or maybe that's what it's getting at. Or maybe it's saying, like, how is it fair that certain players can rent $40 of cards, I don't know, just to get season rewards that are more than that or something? I don't know.
I think that...
I don't know what it is. But overall, I'd say, again, the rewards are what the rewards are. They're published. They're obvious. Everyone knows what they are, and you can choose to spend money or not, however you want, based on that. And our goal is to just increase the rewards as much as possible, while also encouraging players to get more cards, get more stake in game assets, and get higher rank and league
All right, we got three more questions in the renting section, and then we'll let Matt out of here, and I'll just start powering through this stuff. What's the purpose of power requirement in advancing league? I think we kind of answered that. Wouldn't card rentals spike exponentially at the last day of the seasons once new update drops?
Possibly, yeah. I mean, overall, these are all things we're going to have to look at and potentially make adjustments if there are issues. But it's definitely something we need to do. We'll see how it goes. And a lot of times, a lot of people want us to deal with all the potential issues ahead of time, but it's often the case where a lot of things people think will be issues don't actually end up being issues, and it's just hard to predict. So we kind of make the changes that are necessary to change. We see what actually happens and what the actual issues are, and then look at how we can resolve them if there are actual issues.
Can we get a feature to alter our rentals when the current contract is finished without having to cancel the current one? And if we're editing the rental contract, I'll go talk for Jarvie and say, hey, is there a way to expedite changing rental prices?
Yeah, there's a whole list of things we need to fix with rentals. And like I said earlier, we're working on game breaking things first, and then, there's a bunch of bugs and features that we will add to rentals after that.
All right, so being conscious of Matt's time, Matt, is there anything else that you kind of want to share? Is there anything that you want to share, sort of like how development is going, what you want people to think about, things that are going into design, or just your sort of general last thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole bunch of things. So I mentioned we're working on increasing the development team very significantly, but it's going to take time for that to happen and for that to really start, showing progress, to that player-facing progress. In the meantime, we're doing everything we can almost around the clock to, get ahead of game breaking scalability issues ahead of time and deal with ones that we weren't ahead of as they come up. Hopefully they will just get fewer and further between as time goes on until things are just really running smooth all the time. And then on top of that, we're still, as much as possible in parallel, getting the new reward cards out, getting the Chaos Legion pre-sale ready as quickly as possible, getting other bugs with bridges and other things fixed, and getting little things with rentals and other things like that fixed as quickly as we can on top of the other things. And in the meantime, design is also moving forward on future things while development kind of catches up. So it's going to be some time. Things aren't going to be fixed in the next week or two, but over the next few months, hopefully we'll have more people on. Things will be running more smoothly. We'll have some new features out. We'll have a clearer roadmap for when the other remaining features will be out, and we'll be in a real good position to kind of move forward in the future.
Awesome. All right, I'm gonna go pull on Waffles Kitty. Hopefully she's ready and can go talk about Digicon. So thanks, Matt.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for talking to us. And all right,
Sorry.
Kitty, you here?
Yes, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you great. All right, can you? What is Digicon? When is Digicon? And what's happening there?
Okay, perfect. So Digicon, for those who don't know, is a super fun and engaging 3-hour full set conference space. It's totally gamified, interactive. You can run, jump, try out a bunch of things, network with a bunch of really cool people in the blockchain, a bunch of cool blockchain projects, and some of our sponsors are like crypto personalities you'll be interested in knowing more about. And on top of that, you can pick up free swag bag, goodies from sponsored booths, giveaways, participate in drops, and also complete various achievements during the event. And I'm working on like a couple more fun things like a scavenger hunt and stuff for you guys, and also trying to load you guys up on the swag. This will be on Saturday, September 25, at 11 a.m. Pacific, which is 2 p.m. Eastern, which is 6 p.m. UTC. And if you need other time zones, let me know if you are confused. I will definitely help you guys out. I will post the link to the event so you guys can RSVP. Once you guys RSVP, I know a lot of people have asked, like, what is the password to get in? Um, okay, so first off, there's a password, but only for sponsors. So that they can check out their booths, they can make sure everything looks cool. Once the event starts, like 2 p.m. Eastern, you won't need a password, so don't ask me for a password. You might get ignored on Twitter. If it's anything else, I will retweet, I'll comment, I'll add gifts, I will respond to you guys. And feel free to DM me as well. Lots of fun stuff over there, guys, and like a lot of things I have. Some of the new things, we have a super secret guest that I'll be announcing in like maybe like 5 days or so. Um, Keep an eye out on Twitter. That's where I'm the most active, or you can DM me, or you can check the Digicon channel and ask any questions there. We also are bringing back the auction house, so that would be I think in the middle of the event. And then, like I said before, additional games, activities, fun quests for you guys to do during the event. One of my favorite things is to like pick up a bird.
All right. Well, thanks. We're pretty excited about Digicon. It's an event that keeps growing. We keep getting more people, more booths, more vendors, people that want to talk about the projects that they're doing and get a crack at the audience of the Splinterlands community. So hopefully you guys are coming. Okay, so now here's the thing. We're going to get to the full AMA portion of this. So the full AMA is where this stuff gets opened up. We're not quite there. So just for clarity, people are asking community questions during like the first part of this. That's not where we do new community questions. So people that had questions last week that didn't get answered, those are the ones that we're pulling from now. The people that have questions today, as soon as I'm done with the remaining questions, then we'll just start spamming through those next. So we have about an hour left, and I'm just going to sit here. Matt and I do, sort of more thoughtful, long-form answers in the first portion of this. But for the second portion of this, I'm just going to bang through these. So, if you hope to have a question answered, please don't repeat it 50 times in chat. I'm just going to go through it next week or through question by question. If you repeat it 4 times, I might just skip it out of spite or I'll mock you. Okay, so we're gonna start flying through here. Here's some SPS questions, and then so hold off on your community questions. I'll tell you go, and then you guys can go just start spamming questions, and I'll try to answer them rapid fire. But these are the ones from last week, and once I've answered the ones from last week, then we'll get to the new ones from today. So yeah, if you want to delete some crying comments, feel free. I mean, the Mavs have whatever authority they want. All right, so how much SPS do I need to purchase Chaos Legion cards? In order to go purchase Chaos Legion cards, you're likely going to have to stake SPS, which will get you vouchers, and you will have to spend some money, and it's not declared how much yet, plus your vouchers to go purchase these packs. So you're going to want to stake your SPS, and there you go. Would you consider shortening the SPS airdrop? You have created a positive feedback loop where old players have automatic access to vouchers. Thus, will create a card cartel, and new players will only have the option to rent, essentially blocking out new players from owning cards. No, we're not going to shorten the SPS airdrop. That's the white paper. We put stuff out, and then we tend to try to not change things at all and just let the economy evolve around the rules that we put out. In terms of cartels forming, well, this is like the pre-sale portion. So the old players that own cards and have been with us for years, yes, they'll have some access that other people don't have, but that's only to the pre-sale. That's not to like all of the cards. So, and also the vouchers are tradable on market. So, don't stake your SPS. Just go buy it from the guys. Buy the vouchers from the guys that do. That's an option for you. Do I get airdrop points for those cards which I put on sale in the market? I actually don't know that. I don't think so, but I'm not positive. The card is listed for sale. Do you still get airdrop points for it? That's a good question for somebody else if they happen to know the answer to that. How much DEC would be necessary to start airdrops? I'm not sure that there's an answer to that. You probably, I think SPS goes out to like the 18th decimal spot, so you have to own something, but it's probably not just the one. How much SPS do I need to stake in order for me to receive a voucher? You'll receive fractions of a voucher, so there's not like a set number, and it depends on what everybody else is staking. This is that push and shove mentality that, it's not a fixed number, it's competitive with everybody else. So, and that's what makes everybody want to stake this, and that's what makes it hard to get, and that's what makes it so that we all have nice things. What do I even need to do to be eligible for SPS airdrops? If you click the portion of the screen in a desktop browser, in the top right there, it'll show you all the categories of how you can earn an SPS airdrop. I would click the button and read through that. Why is SPS low now? I thought it would skyrocket after the founders' statements. These are markets, giant price dips for Bitcoin and other things change market prices. I can't tell you what they'll do. Look at the white paper and look at the distribution. Roughly 20% of the distribution ends something like 10 months from now. So consider that as you move forward. Is there a way to seed the vouchers, or how many SPS stake you have to get one voucher? No, the voucher stuff is not implemented yet, and it's not even finalized up until the point where it's actually in the white paper. When the Chaos Legion white paper comes out, then it'll be solidified. So, the vouchers is a likely program, but it is not guaranteed up until the damn thing is launched. Once SPS voting is established, if SPS voters vote on a policy that would be detrimental to Steam Monsters Corp., would Steam Monsters Corp. Allow it to be implemented, or would they reserve veto power? If these things are up to SPS voting, then it's just community stuff. There's things that we control, and there's things that are part of the game. So like if you're trying to like control our like way that we deal with credits or something, probably not. That would be something that wouldn't be up for like a vote. But if there's something that's part of just like game, what percent mischance should happen with a speed differential, that's definitely the kind of thing that we're not going to like put the kibosh on. That's the way that's for the SPS staking, and you guys make calls. All right, the total airdrop points dropped from 7.3 to 7 billion. Anyone would know why? Is a DEC burn for Chaos Legion packs? Well, it's not for Chaos Legion packs because they don't exist. I don't know what caused it to drop. I'm not even sure that it did drop. I don't watch the airdrop point total that closely, but somebody might have unstaked, restaked. They might be buying, selling, burning cards. I don't know. There's a bunch of things. Will SPS airdrop points from Chaos Legion cards be based on collection power or DEC burn value? Airdrop points would work the exact same way that they do now. If I put my DEC in Hive Engine only, not in the game, do I still get airdrops, or in MetaMask? Yeah, I think it still counts it because that's part of what it does during the snapshot. Will more use cases for SPS come? Yes, before opening the floodgates for SPS as a reward for ranked battles. Yeah, I definitely want to see more SPS integration before we just start allowing players to earn more. There's currently no locking mechanism for the SPS rewarded through staking and airdrops, thus allowing people to dump it in the market the moment they claim it. I fear the SPS token may turn into a farming token, since with such high offer, people are not incentivized to hold it. Could it be possible to implement a locking mechanism for rewarded SPS similar to the one we currently have with SPS staking? I don't think that we're going to force people to stake it. We're going to give it to you, you get it, and then you choose what to do. Look, like we had a lot of ideas to go implement all of the SPS staking and use cases earlier, but because of like the drastic scaling, we've had to go focus on scaling and not on feature development. So it's not like we're not going to do these things. It's just that like if we have to ask ourselves, should the game be operating, or should we be making SPS more stakeable in an inoperable game? We think, the game operating is a higher priority, and that's what we focus on. Has the Splinterlands team submitted SPS for listing on Binance and submitted an application in any other way? Contact is attempted to establish contact or been contacted by Binance? Yes, we're talking with them. We're talking with all the major exchanges. They reach out to us. There's a couple that we reach out to. We're working on stuff. Any plans to make the purchase of SPS easier, like directly with Fiat, PayPal, or something? Yeah, we have a third-party application that we're hoping to integrate. It won't help Americans, but it'll help everybody else in the world. That you will be able to pay with Fiat, although their service requires KYC. So if you want to purchase, these kinds of tokens, that kind of activity should be happening. Hopefully it's in, I don't know. Normally I'd say it would happen in September, but because of the scaling stuff, it might be September, October, but we're getting pretty close on having something that allows you to swap from fiat into in-game tokens pretty easily. So we'll see how well that goes. What is the updated timeline for the white paper released about last week? We still don't have like a firm deadline, in part because we're kind of in uncharted territory with just how quickly we're growing. As long as we keep growing at this pace, right now we think that we're in a pretty good spot with our servers, but we're still being sort of reactive with these things and finding the bugs and then fixing them, rather than like, about 4 weeks from now at this growth rate, we're expecting these kinds of problems. So when we get there, we'll get there. How much SPS we need to stake for one Chaos Legion voucher? It's not known. You have to go. It's competitive. When Binance? Yeah, when Binance? Go ask them, because we are in talks with them. They know who we are. All the major exchanges know who we are. We're a giant freaking game with like a hot freaking currency. They all know who we are. When are guilds getting SPS for brawls, and why are you keeping the info to yourselves on how much and when we will be getting SPS? I actually don't know when SPS are going in for the brawls. That is something that we're planning on doing. Why are you keeping the info to yourself on how much and when? Well, we're not keeping it to ourselves. We're just fixing servers, and when we're fixing servers, we're not updating roadmaps and other things. But that is one of the things that we're going to do. All things SPS is a priority for the business. So I don't know when you're going to get it. How much? It's in the white paper. I don't know the exact amount, but there's some set amount. It says it in the white paper how much it is. Go look at the white paper and you'll see exactly how much is going to be for reserved for guilds. Will there be an airdrop in Chaos Legion for the people buying packs similar to the current X pack, the Untamed? If you mean card airdrops, yes, there is a plan for airdrops. Every X number of packs, there's going to be another airdrop. If you had previously purchased them, you're eligible. If you skip them, then you just miss out on those earlier airdrops. So the whole thing is an incentive mechanism to buy them early, and you can go look at other airdrops and see how they've done and determine if that's something that you think is worth doing for this pack edition. Does Splinterlands have a sustainability period of a year as assured in the year-long SPS airdrop? Will it be a long-term game after the SPS airdrop has been fully completed? If so, are the future plans logged in future timelines to sustain the game for long-term purposes? That's a really broad question, and I don't really understand what you're asking here. This game is 3 years old, and it's going to be many more years old. We're going to keep being here, so we're going to go. SPS has plummeted in recent days. Do you have any solution or intend to increase the value? Yeah, the whole idea is to implement more things that require staking and use of SPS in the game, but it's not the priority. The priority is making sure that everything is operational. As we kind of steady out in terms of operation, then we'll get back to SPS. But we don't design our whole lives around, the market moved 1 inch this way or that way, whatever. With the prices are sort of independent of our game development, and we're hoping that you guys will look at the vision and look at what we're doing and what we're implementing and make your decisions that way. If price goes down, hopefully there's people to buy it. If price goes up, presumably there's people to sell it. And it's market-driven stuff. Well, we're not a bunch of knee-jerk reactionists. So the market's going to do what the market does, and we are not going to redesign our entire lives around it. When will the white paper for Chaos Legion be available? As soon as it's ready. Hopefully that's in the next month or so, but I don't know. When DEC and SBT are getting on exchanges along with SPS, I don't know. DEC and SBT are such small markets that we're not really fighting for them. I do have a couple exchanges that want to start listing these other things, but we'll see how that goes. When are guilds getting SPS, and why should we keep forking out all of our DEC and miss airdrops to level up buildings without knowing if it's even going to be worth it? Yeah, you guys have to make decisions on that. I can't tell you the exact time that the guilds are going to start earning SPS, but they're definitely going to start earning SPS at some point. If you feel like you're missing out on something, nobody's forcing you to do guilds or anything else, calm down a bit, relax, don't shout at me with these questions. Is it possible to change the airdrop to claim a stake or auto-claim a stake? By claiming that drop, we incur income tax liability. If there was no stake, there is no dominion and control until it's unstaked. Yeah, it's possible that that's true. I'm not a tax expert. You should go contact somebody like Neil McSpadden. But I believe that if you claim it, it counts as income, and then when you stake it, it counts as an expense, at least in the United States. And so, you shouldn't get taxed on it right away if you're operating as a business. I'm not sure what happens if you're just a man or woman operating that way. But, go talk to tax professionals about this kind of stuff because it's complicated and tricky. But there might be solutions for you, and you might not be an American, so all the rules might be different for other people. Okay, will SPS staking be required per Chaos Legion pack based on the number of SPS tokens or dollar amount staked? Not necessarily working that way. We've talked about the voucher system. The rapidly dropping price of SPS has me nervous about this. All right, well, people are free to be nervous. I'm not in charge of your emotional state of being. Can we use SPS to buy packs? Not at this moment because we're not selling packs, and not at this moment because SPS isn't currently accepted for value in the game, but both of those things are meant to be changed. What will be the use of vouchers after the pre-sale? That's still being debated, and we'll talk about it more as that comes in. Isn't it a bit discriminatory towards new players and moving more and more to pay to win? People receive huge SPS airdrops or having alpha cards land, etc. The APR is constantly dropping, so people joining later have to spend 100x more money to catch up and even have a chance to have only like 0.001% of all the pre-sale vouchers, even if they reach the 0.001 of the whole staked SPS pool. What would be the use of our SPS in the future? I don't know that it's discriminatory. This is just how the economy works, and people are participating how they see fit. So if you don't feel like it's good for you to participate in some way, shape, or form, nobody's forcing you to do that. But for the people that want Chaos Legion packs as part of the pre-sale, their plan is to go stake SPS, earn vouchers, and spend those vouchers along with various currencies to go get their Chaos Legion packs. All right, so now we're getting into community questions. Hey, it's been 4 days since my blog and Splinter Talk has gone missing. Is there any news? Will it be fixed, or are they fixing it? Yeah, we're trying to index all of the older posts into the new instance, and then we're also trying to go pay out there's a 1 week period between the two where old posts aren't going to be paid out, new posts started, trying to go get those older posts to get paid out. So we'll see. Hopefully that's coming. Do you think the community is doing a good job of making new players aware of the resources that are available? Example, UnitQM is doing a whole series of PT about starting from scratch in the Splinterlands. Yeah, we're signing up people left and right. We're growing at 4 to 5% a day. We grow every 3 to 4 weeks. We double in size every 3 to 4 weeks. And our retention is ridiculously high compared to every other video game on the planet. So I would say, yes, we're doing good. If we made our accounts years ago on Steam, is there any danger that anyone from there can steal our assets by recovering our accounts? Well, if you're worried about that, you can go change your password on Hive, or change your password on Steam, and also change your recovery account. Those are things that are done. Are you still happy with Hive? It depends on what you mean, happy with Hive. There's not a set definition with that. There are certainly some advantages and disadvantages to being here, but there's no immediate plans to move the game off of Hive. How long does it take to be whitelisted on Splinter Talk from the moment the request application has been sent? There's not currently plans to whitelist users to just be able to post whatever memes and crap you guys want on Splinter Talk. Maybe that's something that we're going to do. I'm still talking it over with the team to figure out how we want to deal with community that want to mint NFTs on there. Generally, I like the idea. I'm kind of leaning towards if they own enough stake and they pay for the NFTs that they're generating and stake both for SPS and SPT, then that's something that I'm willing to consider, maybe even collection power too. So we'll see what it looks like. I don't know. I still got to go talk it through. All right, please update the app. I don't know about that. Any new monetization system that would benefit players more? The income is very minimal compared to some other games. Compared to 99% of the games on the planet, it is infinitely more valuable to play this game than any other game. There's a handful of things that are out there, but again, economies change. We're not going to knee-jerk every little thing that we're doing just so that one person in one spot in one part of the economy for one set of assets that they own, they wanted higher returns. That's not how our design works. Please add more useful utilities for SPS. It's not useful at all at the moment. That's all coming. Again, that's more about the scaling that we're having to do right now than like our desire or ability to implement these things. Can you make the quest potion cheaper? No, the quest potion is not like really in alignment of what we want, so it's not well designed. So maybe we'll think, how to change it or something, but not currently. Is there any possibility that the attack miss on the card will be removed, then the ability to evade will be more useful? The attack miss on the card. I don't quite understand what you're saying, but those are things that if SPS holders choose to go change some of the core rules of the game, that's something that they can do. Can anything be done to prevent stealing of Splinterlands assets? Like if a person does steal, he should be allowed to sell it off, and it should be nulled. So that kind of goes against the way that blockchains work, and that we want blockchains to work. That there's not some central authority that says yes, you can do this, and no, you can't do that. Even if they're a known scammer, we shouldn't just like implement controls like that. It's possible if we start getting all these other nodes operating, and nodes want to start like not blocking certain actions or transactions from happening. That is the kind of thing that could be done, but that's a slippery slope, and it's not something that the game is currently doing. Are you going to lower the cost of DEC for the daily rewards chest potion, or give the better value in the chests? Nope, those things are both pretty much fixed at the moment, and we don't have plans to change them. Although, starting Monday, you're going to start getting rewards cards as opposed to like all the DEC that just magically pops in. The amount of DEC from the rank rewards is getting less and less as the number of player increases. That's maybe possibly true. It's probably more related to the price changes of DEC at the moment. DEC is hard to come by. Will you increase the total amount of DEC from the rank reward? Well, DEC is fixed every single day. We issue like 1 million DEC, or I forget what it is. But there's a certain amount that's fixed every single day, except that when the price is higher than the peg, which is at 0.001 DEC per dollar, no, that's not right. If there's 1,000 DEC equals $1, if we're higher than that in price, then it actually issues more. So yes, more players coming in will dilute the overall rewards, but if they're driving the price higher, then that's also changing it. But the big thing will happen when we get to like SPS rewards and battle system. That's going to drastically change how much you're earning. Is there any chance that you can change the rewards for top 20 per tier? It seems that in Bronze League it is infested with players whose power is really good, or Diamond League. If not, any plan for this called Gatekeepers? Yeah, so Matt mentioned that a little bit. I think when we get to SPS being added into this, we'll start changing things up. Will there be a train battle mode where players can play all cards, all levels freely? I don't know about that. It's certainly not a priority right this second. Chaos Legion will have lower power and lower DEC burn value, yet Chaos Legion packs will cost more. This doesn't make any sense. Well, there's more and more value that's here that you can unlock. So yeah, there are some advantages to holding the older cards, and it's likely that in the future, as we keep printing, that the collection power will reduce over time as well. Please limit the Chaos Legion packs for a player, like with a voucher system. They'll buy so much that they're going to sell it for a higher price. Like, what the hell? Yep, so that is a possibility. Markets are going to market. So make sure you get if you want to make sure you get Chaos Legion packs, stake your SPS. What this question is to me is, wow, there's a bunch of FOMO out there around Chaos Legion. It's almost like there's millions of dollars sitting on the sideline of people waiting to buy this, and they're all anxious about it. But just keep in mind, there's not enough for everybody, and you're probably going to want to push and shove. All right, why not make the quest potion 60 DEC and reduce chest rewards to 3 chests? Because the whole quest potion thing is not in alignment with what we want players doing, which is ultimately buying cards and holding them. The quest potion sort of gets around buying cards and holding them, so we don't really like its design. Can you remove the auto-surrender feature? A lot of players losing more rating and ECR. No, I mean, if there's reasons why you're surrendering, then that's going to be there. All right, these are questions from the live chat, and I guess I'll just power through these two, and then hopefully, will you stop adding them? Because I'd rather like go through the what the players are reading, because I haven't read what the players are reading. So stop. Don't ask more questions just yet, and I'm going to turn my attention back to the AMA in just a second from this from the AMA questions. So maybe you put the AMA questions link into chat, and that way they can see what we're reading off of in case they're not here with us. All right, request, please update the app. All right, any, did we already answer that one? I don't know. Any new monetization? Yeah, I think I already answered these. More general questions from the chat. Are you planning to change the spellbook price in the nearest future? Yes, it's possible. No, it's not guaranteed. Will there be more skins, and will skins be tradable? Skins are technically tradable now, but there's no like market or interface for it. So yes, they'll be tradable. I do think that there will be more skins. Can we know why there are a lot of accounts that got banned this week, and what is the status of the banned accounts that raised tickets? So the accounts that got banned, they were almost certainly buying cards from themselves at much higher prices to go get DEC. And that goes against our terms of service, which we like put up front with everybody. Maybe we can add some warnings or something, but if you're buying cards on the market to go burn them or trade them or just try to get DEC that way, that's against the terms of service. You still get to own your cards. You can go use third-party sites or something else, but you're not going to be allowed to use the Splinterlands interface anymore. And no, you can actually battle without the interface, so you are not like totally stuck. It's just these are things that you're not allowed to do. What shampoo do we use? I rarely use shampoo because my hair is so short and I cut it frequently. I don't know about that. Is there any consideration to making League a factor in DEC earnings? Yes, that's part of what we're talking about. We are starting to see more and more people not want to move up leagues because they actually earn less DEC. Yeah, that's a thing. And I think it's not the next, it's not quite an exploit, but it's kind of in that vein of things. So that's definitely something that we want to tackle. I'm super grateful for the hard work put in by the tech support team, but what's the best way to get you to peek at a unique tech support inquiry? I went through the emailing system, but just haven't gotten any updates since July. If it's since July, you probably just need to submit another ticket or something. That we're a couple days maybe, but it shouldn't be months. So that seems like an error. Will it be some sort of farming system for Splinterlands for grind to earn players? That's more of like the land system than just like anything else. So if you want grind to earn or farming, then I would consider getting some land before it's impossible to get. All right, are you scaling? News, please. I'm actively pushing the game and creating content. Yeah, we talked about scaling. We're in a pretty good spot for the things that we can anticipate. There are things that we can't anticipate, and they kind of sneak up on us. But we'll see how the season goes, and if it's smooth, then it means that we're in a pretty good spot here. Hello, just wanted to ask, what is the basis of the reward chest at the end of the season? Current rank or highest achieve rank? Thank you for your answer. This season, it's going to go to current rank. So that's what Matt said earlier today, and I believe that to be the case. I heard that you need to buy quest potions, packs, and cards to succeed in the game. Players who already bought Spellbook then have no money to invest again. What will happen to them? Are there any opportunities for them to advance? Sure, you go complete the daily quest, get some DEC, and over time you can start. But if you're literally just starting with $10 and nothing else, that's a tough grind. You probably want to run some cards. Will there be any new benefit for guilds? Joining a guild seemed useless because the contribution are lots more than what guild bonuses give us. So I can't. The contributions are not forced by Splinterlands. So talk to the different guilds. Maybe somebody will let you in for free or something like that. Certainly when you want to buy potions to go open up your Chaos Legion packs and they're at a big discount, that's certainly going to save you a fair amount of money. Eventually you'll start earning SPS for being in the guild. That's something that you guys should consider too. Any updates on cards missing, not appearing in the battle situation for C region? Some of us are not comfortable using a VPN. I think that's fixed now, but if it's not, then you guys can let me know. Hopefully that question's a little bit older. Will players be able to purchase quest potions with credits, or are you looking at lowering the DEC required to purchase a quest potion? Quest potion is broken. We're not planning on rolling that out. Since land is out of reach of most regular people now, are we going to have to pay outrageous prices for the item that land produces? I'm not sure what prices land stuff will be, but all of that is going to factor into the overall economy, and all of that is going to factor into the overall how players are performing. So that's all stuff to consider, but not something that I have an answer for now. Can you please help us understand how auto bans work? Yeah, I mean, if you buy cards off the market and pay exorbitant prices just to get DEC for them, you're going to get banned. Can llama be obtained from the daily quest? No. Any plans to remove the advance to the next league button. In this way, if a player has enough power and rating, they are automatically advanced to a higher league. No, because at times, in between leagues, there could be like thousands of dollars that you want to accumulate. So I know that like people, you just want to kick other people out that you're competing against for money, and it's great if you have the ability to do that. But honestly, there's reasons why people would want to stay, because you don't just want to just because you can automatically move up doesn't mean that it's a good experience. So there's some kind of balance in there that's not automatic, but that, at some point they really ought to move, and that's something that we got to think through. Will there be a 2-rank system for old and new cards? Currently thinking yes. Can we get a feature to alter our rentals when the current contract is finished without having to cancel the current one? We brought that up. Rentals are something that we want to fix, but it's not like the highest priority, but that is on that priority list. I know buying cards using credit and burning it is illegal, but how about renting cards using credit? I don't know about that. If you can... Well, you can always use credit. Using credit's fine. What you're not supposed to do is buy the card to get the DEC. That's the thing that gets you booted from using Splinterlands. And it's not booted from interacting with Splinterlands. Just to be clear, we operate a website, we operate some services. If you break the terms of service to our services, we don't offer you them anymore. But it's not like the game blocks your cards forever. Get a bot, run the bot, and you'll still fight. It's just that you won't fight using the interface with us. Will the collection power for leagues be calculated based on the available cards in each format? Yes, I believe so. Will we have a spellbook for old and new? Interesting. I don't know. I haven't had that question yet, but that's a good one. I'll start thinking about that. It says in your update there will be a 1% chance to get a Chaos Legion pack on chest. Does that mean you're going to get a pack that has 5 cards on it? Or is it just a typo and should have been Chaos Legion cards? No. You'll actually get a pack. We've done this before where, if you're earning in Quest, there'll be a chance that you get Chaos Legion packs. Singular at a time, but that's something that happens. Where can I spend my credits if the Quest Potion is not available anymore? You can spend them on the market and buy cards with them. Are you guys planning to improve the customer service and speed up the process? Yes, that's a big part of what we're doing right now. We've hired a whole bunch of people, more are coming. Do you see Splinterlands being able to be connected to even more blockchains? Yeah, one of the next ones that we hope to do is Flow. And I have, actually somebody just reached out to me about a marketplace on Binance Smart Chain. So that's another place that I'd be interested in doing. The terms of service violation is for buying or renting cards from yourself. So no, you can't convert credits into DEC by renting cards from yourself. But renting cards owned by other people you aren't connected with credits is fine. And buying cards at market value from people you aren't connected with credits and burning them is actually fine. All right, are you guys planning to improve customer service? Just answered that. Do you see Splinterlands being able to connecting more blockchains? Yes. Due to the high amount of players coming in, the DEC pool is being drained even after being replenished. There's a lot of factors affecting it, but one of the biggest are the players who own like 100 accounts and use bots. This is affecting even the rewards in Diamond and Champion, given 100% ECR with 30 to 40 per win. Will it be possible to separate DEC pools on each rank to make sure that those bots at lower ranks don't drain the pool for higher ranks, or the pool is already set up that way? All those accounts are your competitors, and everybody is competing for a limited amount of resources. There's not enough for everybody to get as much as they want. This is part of the competition. Play better, have higher. If you want to earn more, then have more cards, battle more, fight better, be better, get better stake. There's other things that you can do. We're not just going to simply eliminate other people that are playing, even if they're using bots. That's just not the mentality of the game. You guys have to get more efficient with the cards that you use, what cards you have, the things that you own, what are you renting. The competition is going to keep getting harder, not easier. And just because there's more players, if there are more players and they drive the price of DEC up, then there's actually going to be more DEC circulating. It's possible that it is just less. That's a thing that could happen too. But that's part of why we're looking to go add SPS rewards into this whole thing. Because the DEC is meant to be more stable, whereas SPS is meant to fluctuate. And so when you get those rewards, that should be fun for everybody. All right, are there plans to be able to sell cards on PancakeSwap? Do they do NFTs on PancakeSwap? I didn't think they did. Security aspect, would it be better to get 2FA in order to sign in as email to prevent hackers or some other protection from email, login beside basic password? I think we were looking into 2FA. I don't know where that project's at, but that's one of the things that as we add more devs, that's something that'll get done. What is the highest reward in a daily quest? How big is the chance to get that? Can you show us the competition? How can we make sure you're not fooling us? There's charts for that, and the Discord bots have it. Maybe some of the players can pull that up and talk about some of the chances that are with that. Everything that's here is verifiable. So what rewards you should have gotten, there's like equations that set that's based off of like data that's on chain, so that we can go see what block you pulled your rewards, feed it into the calculation, and everybody knows what you should have gotten, or what we should have gotten, so that you can tell that we're not just minting cards for ourselves. Do we know when Chaos Legion is coming out, and is the server prepared for what will definitely be a huge rush on packs? I think it is. We think that the server's better, but let's go see how this end of season goes. Apparently 150,000 land plots were sold in total. How many individual plots were sold? Not regions tracks, just individual plots. I can't find this info anywhere. Yeah, maybe one of the nerds can help you with that. I don't have the information handy. What are the plans on addressing these frequent server issues? It's the utmost priority for the team. Yes, it's the utmost priority. It's like I said, I think that we've gotten to a point where we're stable for now, and we can start anticipating what's going to come next. But we'll see how that goes. Matt was saying that what we've put in place is meant to scale, not just for tomorrow, but for some chunk of time. Is the highest attained rank still the basis of the season rewards? No, this season it's going to be whatever you got last. Are there any changes to the end of season rewards chest? Yes, we're adding the rewards cards back. Mostly for Cryptomancer. Thought on being able to sacrifice a card to upgrade your guild barracks. It could be a different way to level up these buildings. It could even add the card to a guild-only collection that now tied to the guild and untradeable, but gives all the members an advantage in brawls and being able to play these cards in brawls. So we had something like that on the list of different things that you could level up. I don't know where that is. If maintenance happened while the season end approaching and some of our rent card power requirement expired, will there be an exception? Thanks, more power splinters. I don't know what your exception is. Usually it's something like, can you delay the card rental stuff? And currently that's not in the protocol of how rentals work. So the short answer is no. Maybe that's something that will change later, but I don't know. I haven't studied enough on that to know if that's even possible. Are the mintage numbers of individual land plots sold on wax correct? It says 2,628. So, yeah, I think that those things are correct. I don't know. That should be okay. Will there be new plots of land for sale in the near future? Definitely not. Or should I pay outrageous prices on the secondary market? I can't tell you what you should or shouldn't pay. Market prices are what market prices are. And unless we roll out an entirely different game, I don't see new plots of land coming to the Splinterlands anytime soon. Once the new matchmaking formats are ready, will you still get 10% DEC bonuses for using alpha cards on the format that allow you to play them? Yes, you should still get that. And I think we'll add it to betas and some others. Maybe Untamed, I don't know if that's going to start yet. Any plans on players who are camping on lower tier when their power is clearly for Gold or Diamond League? It seems that they are abusing the rewards. Yeah, there's something about this. I don't think that we're going to force them to move up. Maybe if they have I don't know, maybe there's a limit. Just like we've done, I don't want to think out loud. But now I'm starting to think about a plan of what could work there. All right, Chaos Legion release date, not yet declared, but I think that the pre-sale is likely to happen in September, but it depends on how many server fires we have to put out. Aren't bots accounts farming DEC messing up the sign-up numbers? I don't think so. One estimate I heard is that the number of bots that are in the game is only 15%. I don't know if that's true or not. I can't verify that, but it came from a dev that I think highly of. So given where most games are in the play-to-earn space, where almost the majority of these things are bots, I think that we're actually kind of killing it, but I can't verify that. Can we get an approximate percentage of bots? I just gave that. 15%-ish is my current best estimate on that. When is the next AMA? I guess it's going to be 2 p.m. In a week. Let me see if that's actually true. Yeah, the next one will be, we're going to do that at 2 p.m. on Friday the 17th. Okay. How much is the fish? I don't know what that means. I have more or less 1K SBS. Is that enough to have 10 vouchers at least? I don't know, because it's all competitive and it depends on how many other people start staking. Is there an update in Hive Engine? I can't claim my token rewards. Why isn't it that I can't claim my SBT rewards in Hive Engine? Maybe that's tied to one of our API nodes broke and should be fixed by today, I think. So we'll see what that looks like. Would you allow us to refill ECR with SBS? Then every SBS you use to fill it would be burned. I don't know. We've talked about things like that, but we're not quite there yet to know what we're going to do or not. What's the ratio of creation rewards to post payout on Splinterlands? I think it's 50-50. Will there be an update in the future where they will have at least a certain limit in which you won't lose rating if you're AFK? Because sometimes, because of an app issue, we lose some of our ratings. No, you're going to lose ratings if you're AFK. Hopefully, we'll just get rid of the platform fleas. 25% potion, 25% DEC, 50% card. It's in the post. I think that's right, but I'm not positive. Questions no longer added. All right. So now we have 20 minutes left, and you guys probably have some other questions. We're now at the stage of this where any question you want to ask, I got 20 more minutes. Start with question and then move on. In your previous AMA, I thought that Chaos Legion pack presale will be newbie friendly. It will be fairly newbie friendly, but you still have to go get vouchers. What is the stage of the land expansion in as far as development goes? Does it mostly need to be coded at this point, or are you also still working on a majority of the functional details? We have spreadsheets and spreadsheets of this stuff, but they're not all finalized. A lot of the art's still getting finalized. A lot of it's getting done. So we're certainly making progress, because not all progress is development. In fact, development is only like 15 to 20% of the time. Like, I would say design is like 80% of the time, 20% of the time is like development. So a lot of this is like in art development as opposed to like programming development. And some of that is design. So there's stuff getting worked on, even though it's not being like the devs and Matt sitting there coding it, it's still getting progression. The massive supply increase in new packs will help new players to be involved, which is good for the game, but what about the relevance of owning the original editions? People have invested large amounts, hoping that in years they may be very collectible, but if their functions are being diminished, then that won't work. Any plans to keep them relevant? Sure, there's like a whole wild format for the cards where only they are being useful, and like, there's powers and combinations and things that you can't get anywhere else. There's bonuses to harvesting DEC. There are higher collection power cards. There's a bunch of reasons why you might want the older cards. Why does it say that land plots on Wax have a mint number 2628? I thought there were only 2628 individual plots sold. I'm not an expert of Wax. I think that's just how many of the tokens have been moved over from the game into there. Will the remaining reward cards be carried over with the new reward cards? I don't know what that is asking. Is this AMA being broadcast on Twitch? No, something went wrong with my streaming, so it's just being recorded. Are there any new toys and cool things coming that you haven't talked about yet, but can mention now? Not really. Most of what we've been focused on is development, but game is in maintenance mode right now, so I don't know what happened, but we're working on it. After the pre-sales of Chaos Legion vouchers, will there be packs left for open to accommodate all the new players? Yeah, I would say the majority of packs will be available after the pre-sale. Maybe even the vast majority, I don't know. The pre-sale is meant to be like a limited thing, not like the whole sale of things. Will there be free cards to use in the other rank modes? Yeah, there'll be like your starter set, the like soulbound cards. Is there a chance DEC will be burned? Yeah, I mean, that's we constantly put out things that burn DEC. Question, will there be a mode where players can play all cards, all levels freely with no rewards but fun? I don't know. It's not a priority for us, but that's something to consider. How many SPS do we need staked for obtaining one voucher? I don't know. It's competitive. You'll receive fractions of a voucher, and so on. How do you handle your excitement for all this growth? Go into the woods and howl like a wolf? It's not really the excitement. Most of the time, it's just like, holy crap, how do we deal with all these people that are here? So at some point, we'll be really excited about it, but in the meantime, it's just like, wow, it's a lot of stuff to deal with. I know you hate the WinX questions, but any timeline for SPS rewards added for ranked matches? No, SPS rewards for ranked matches is one of the higher priorities. Basically, anything to do with SPS is a higher priority, but it comes after DevOps, and it comes after So the rewards cards are the highest priority. The Chaos Legion is after that, and then after that is anything SPS. And some things are worked in parallel. So like land is still being worked in parallel, even though that's not like the highest priority. It doesn't mean that we were like ignoring it. You know, there's enough people and enough teams that things are working in parallel. But I know like from our perspective, it's rewards cards, which are Monday, Chaos Legion, which is hopefully this month, and then SPS. But everything is below just DevOps and the game functioning. So nothing matters more than keeping the game function, and we'll delay everything as long as necessary to make sure that the game is running smoothly. Why not make Quest Potions at a different price because they're currently broken and they don't do what we wanted them to do? Can there be some kind of visual notification of the health of the node servers, excellent, good, average, down, poor? You know, honestly, like, when we finally get there, it's going to be at a point where like the game is going to be ready to scale. I don't know. I'll talk about it, but I don't think that we're going to design that in. But we'll see. We'll see what the guys want to do. Any sign of bid options for market sales and rentals? Yeah, stuff like that is cool. It's not our highest priority. Peak Monsters currently does it. So if you want to go put in bids, then you can go do that through Peak Monsters. Question: is it worth it for the game to still have Quest Potions? No, Quest Potions are broken. Can we use, but actually Quest Potions might make sense. Again, now that rewards cards are coming, you guys will have to go do the math on your own. I don't know. Question: I'm super grateful for the hard work they put in by the tech support team, but what's the best way to get in touch with you? We already answered that. Are we going to have a different ranking mode for Chaos Legion cards? Yes. Question: did you get your way with rewards to Jin's name? No, it's not Oceanus. It's Oceanus or something, but I wanted the apostrophe, but Matt wouldn't put it in. We had more important things to do than making a character slightly more Irish sounding. Question: in the future, what's the possibility of fractional ownership of a better system for shared usage of cards and effort to keep prices going upward, but also making them more attainable for lower dollar folks? I don't know about fractional ownership. That's a problem that the market might need to figure out. It's not something that I think we're going to invest a ton of time into yet. You know, maybe if we get like 10 more devs, then we can do it. Is there a major league on the works, like international competitive league? You know, as these tournaments get into like the tens of thousands, people are freaking doing it. All right, question. I want to increase my power for a day for the season rewards from Bronze 1 to Bronze 3. Need 5,000 power. What kind of foil rarity type cards do I need? Anything, but you don't just want to like add power. Some people do, but I would suggest you get cards that are useful that are in the league you're in. Yasik publishes some win rates for cards at different league levels, and so I would encourage you to look at that, see which cards are the high winners, and then see about renting those. That's my suggestion, not financial advice. I'm not a hardcore renter. Is there anyone that can link with Cal to answer questions he may have to get the Cub SPS farm started? I think he may have airdrop questions and been stated that the farm is ready to be deployed. He just needed to do more research on the airdrop. Yeah, Cal kind of comes and goes with the game. We work with Cub at different times. I don't know where that's at. I haven't been involved. Do we have to wear a mask while we play? No, you don't. Will land sales be added back in when land is released so track region owners can sell plots from their regions? If you go and look, there is already a land tab under the market, but it's not currently like doing all this stuff because there's no land to put in it. Will basic cards with old frames still be usable in Modern, or will the next set contain the basic cards with new frames? Basic card with new frames, I think it's going to be, it sounded like Matt was going to do Untamed and Chaos Legion will be the basis of the new starter pack or spellbook. Do you know when the curation reward split on Splinter Talk is? Yes, it's 50-50. Any new production in the works to expand competitive live streaming? Is it mostly community lead for now? So I have a contract that's coming with the game with Hive Engine. It's a roles contract, and I'm hoping it works kind of like a witness contract where you can vote in a top 20. And I want it to be for streamers so that I can just shove a pool of SPS into that, and the community can stake SPS and vote for who they think are the best streamers, and then the streamers can get paid not by Splinterlands the company, but by this DAO that functions with this whole like roles thing. And it's kind of like a witness. You're not running a server, you're running a stream, and that's a service that you would be providing to the community, and if the community thinks that you're worth it, then that's something that they could do. So that's called the roll contract with my Hive Engine hat. That's something that I've been working on, and hopefully you'll see it. All those contracts are not on hiveengine.com. They're on tribaldex.com, so you can check them there. And then I just somehow lost my spot. Holy crap! Where the hell am I? What time was I at?
45.
10:45. All right, we have 10 more minutes, and then I gotta get out of here. So no more questions after this. Please wait a day, and then you can start posting your questions for the next AMA, and then we'll kind of get those prepped, and the ones that are like reasonable and not repetitive, we'll go put in. All right, question: will the starter cards change? Yeah, I just answered that. Reward cards have a print run. When the max number of cards have been printed, it goes out of print. Yep, that is all true. Are there any more questions? What to do with the mystery potion I bought yesterday on Splint X? Yeah, that's an error. You can't use it. I don't know. Don't buy them. Maybe you'll get a refund or something. Is there a chance Quest Potion will be back by purchasing credits? I think you can buy them with credits. I don't know. Maybe it's turned off entirely. What else? Question: what do we expect in 1 or 3 years in this game? Massive growth is my answer. One of the benefits of buying a pre-sale pack, special rewards, titles, yeah, stuff like that is in there. There are a whole bunch of rewards, but I can't tell you what all they are until it's finally announced. Question: why are the power requirements to rank up so incredibly high? I'm not sure that they are incredibly high, but this is a game that requires you to stake, and how much you can earn is dependent on how much you're staking. And so if you're staking $2 worth, you're not going to get $1 million out of the game. And so there's a compromise of, the game is meant to be skill and the amount of time that you put in and the quality of your deck, and those three things, and maybe in the future it'll be how much SBS you have staked too. Those things will determine what your earning potential is. And so, if you come in and you spend nothing, you're not going to become a millionaire here. That's just not the way that this works. Everybody has to sort of contribute to the ecosystem if they hope to get anything out of the ecosystem. Question: any changes planned regarding Tribal Dex, DEC, SPS, LP? I don't know. Maybe, there is like a whole thing for SBS being rewarded to liquidity pairs. So that is hopefully the DEC SPS one will hopefully be one that's funded. We'll talk to Matt about that later. But that's going to happen after we get Chaos Legion up and running, and sort of like the modern versus wild formats. All right, question. We know there's a lot of ways to earn and would like to be competitive and collect cards, but isn't it a bit unfair with the lower leagues are burning way too much DEC pool than the higher leagues? I mean, let's be honest, anyone who wants a larger amount of DEC rewards will go higher rank and compete, but because the DEC pool is shared amongst all the ranks, the BEC is being burned is in the lower league, not the higher. Whether you be 100% win rate, you're rewarded per DEC will eventually be drained down by the lower league. Competing is not the problem. The problem is the pool is being shared by everyone in every league. So when there's a lot of new players, what rewards will there be for the higher league? Yeah, I don't think that's actually correct. So I can't go into all the reasons why, but I don't think that your understanding of how it works. As more people go in, yes, there is more rewards for that, or there's more competition for the same rewards, but it's not split by league. It's like there's one big pool and everybody's fighting for the one big pool. So even if there's 1 million new players just in one league, it doesn't actually only affect that league, it affects the entire pool. And yes, it's competitive. All right, I have 5 more minutes. I'm going to try to power through a couple of these, but honestly, no more questions. Is the highest rank attained at the end? Yes, it's where you end up. In regards to loot chest, what will be the basis? Highest rank? Man, just got to keep answering that question. It's going to be wherever you get at the end of the season. All right, I have a meeting in 5 minutes, so I need to take a break so that I can be ready for my next meeting. So there you go. Guys, this is kind of the new format, all right, because we're trying to go handle all of the questions that are coming into this thing. So the way that this works is that I've canceled questions for now, for the rest of today. The next thing that happens, if you want to make sure that your question gets answered, put it into the AMA chat. Don't do it today because it's going to get lost. But wait a day, go put your question in, and then we can start answering those questions. And those will be the ones that make it onto the formal list. And the formal list will be the first hour, and then the second hour will be me just spamming answers to whatever you guys are asking. And it's just repeating the same answers over and over again. Chaos Legion is hopefully going to be in September. Yes, vouchers will work this way is what we're currently expecting. But anyways, that's what I have for now. Hopefully you guys are satiated at least a little bit. I've done the best that I can because I can't answer everybody the same answer over and over again. I'm doing my best here. All right, guys, that's what I got for now. Hopefully, if you want your questions answered for next time, please submit them, not today, but starting tomorrow. And I don't know, we're grateful to have you here, grateful to have these players. It's exciting. It's exciting to be part of this community. Thank you for being here. Thank you for participating. And, we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.